3, 2, 1. Hello, this is Joeofthemasks.
And once again, I'm Jeremy, and I'm right here building my PC, doing another unboxing for Joseph's channel.
He's so nice.
Well, I have it. I might as well use it to someone else's advantage as well.
Yeah, and I like to give information, so...
Yeah.
And he's very knowledgeable.
So this is the Rosewell Quark 650 gaming power supply.
And we talked about that earlier. The gaming just means it's pretty.
It's into cash in and mind share and
it's a gimmick.
Easy thinking. It's, I'm building a game PC. I should look for a gaming thing on it. End of the day, as long as the power supply's got a good rating and a good warranty, and it's, well, this isn't the best case of a good name, but if it has a good
Rosewell
name,
isn't too bad. Let's see.
they're decent.
Oh.
If it wasn't for the 5-year warranty, I would not have purchased this because it's a Rosewell.
Really?
Rosewell is kind of like great value from Walmart.
Oh.
It's the company branding, I guess you'd call it, from Newegg. That's about all it is. And so Rosewell, I'm not going to say they're bad quality because
I like a lot of great value products.
Yeah, well, it's different companies. Rosewell and Great Value.
I know, Great Value, but the comparison. I like Great Value products. Rosewell, maybe we'll like Rosewell products.
Yeah, I mean,
because when I'm thinking of Great Value products, I'm thinking of food, and I really don't think you want me to eat your power supply.
You'd die. There's capacitors in here.
Yeah.
But Rosewell, it's from Newegg, and so I'm not going to say they're bad, but I haven't heard too many good things about them, and their prices make me a little dubious at times.
But I got a 5-year warranty.
There's a 5-year warranty. It's 80 plus platinum, which I will get to eventually. And, it's good enough. Although I do love the fact that FedEx managed to bang up the cardboard. But it's just cardboard.
They also left it outside your door.
They
in the middle
did.
Of nowhere.
They dropped $400 of just components in a box on my front doorstep. And if I wasn't there at the front doorstep, I probably wouldn't have realized it, and someone could have picked it up and been about $400 richer, and me about $400 a lot more pissed off. So, 5-year warranty.
Looks like there's even a dent in the cover.
It's just cardboard.
That's true.
I pick my fights. This is not a fight worth picking.
I don't pick my fights. I fight everything.
But at any rate, 5-year warranty. It's got a 5-year limited warranty. So if you get struck by a flood, they're not going to pay for it. But if you accidentally...
FedEx runs over it.
I think Newegg would refurbish you for that.
Yeah.
Or FedEx would.
We'll just talk to both of them until someone does. Anyway.
Yeah.
Pay me back my money.
So, Quark, brand naming of it, 650 is the maximum CPU wattage they can pull through it safely.
Okay.
I'm not too sure if that's over time or just peak, but that's as quick as you can get it, or as high as you can get it. 80 plus platinum. This is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Back in, I want to say, the early 2000s, late 90s, somewhere around there, a lot of
So long ago.
Yeah.
For computers.
Very long ago. Windows 98. Now with 32-bit color.
I remember Windows 98. That's when games were, ran well. Anyways.
Well, you couldn't patch them afterwards, so they had to run decently.
They had to make them good.
Plus, there wasn't all the heavy graphics that you do these days, so you don't have to hire 15 artists to make a game look right.
Yeah, okay, yes. There's reasons, but I still like a lot of my old 98 games. Not just because of nostalgia, although I will admit a massive amount of it is because of nostalgia.
Axis and Allies was a good game.
Yes, it was.
The only way to make that game run is on XP emulators, or you just get the AAA program and it.
Or you just have an old computer like Joe and never update it.
Yeah, that'd work too.
And don't ever connect it to the
internet.
But
for everyone who remembers Energy Star and the idea of getting increased energy
I
efficiency.
remember Energy Star.
They're still around technically. I mean, they haven't stopped trying to make people energy efficient. It's a noble goal. But they came up for power supplies. I'm not sure if it's really associated with Energy Star, but it's under the same principle of the 80 plus program. 80 plus means that the power supply runs at least 80% efficiency when it's running at maximum efficiency. Most power supplies run at maximum efficiency when they're pulling about half of their maximum rate. So divide 650 in half, you get 325. That's roughly where you can get the maximum efficiency out of it.
Where you're getting as much bang as the buck you're putting in, closest to it.
Possible, yes.
Or like gas for a car, or yada yada. Yeah. The amount of fuel you're consuming is more equal to the speed you are going.
Yeah, exactly. And so back in the day, 80 was a very good goal for them. And so as long as you get something which is 80 plus certified, it means that at least some of the power supplies coming out of the manufacturer were tested for that.
Not every single one of them, but it's kind of hard to test.
Well, they do. You
it's
can,
spot testing.
You can look this up, and it goes beyond the realm of it. But there's
a bunch of YouTube videos on it. Most likely, type in 80 plus.
Articles,
you'll see a bunch of old people.
Well, articles. It's mostly articles.
Otherwise probably 80 plus. But you'll just see a bunch of old people flexing.
The rankings go 80 plus bronze, 80 plus silver, 80 plus gold, 80 plus platinum, and then 80 plus titanium.
Oh,
titanium being the most efficient you can find. I believe that runs at efficiency of about 94 to 95%.
Oh, that's really good.
That being said, in order to get something of this quality, the 650, that's like the minimum titanium you can buy, and those things will run at the range of about $120 to $160.
Yeah, not really.
It's not worth the initial investment cost.
No.
But if you get a good sale, it's worth it. That's what I did with this guy. Otherwise, I would have just gotten a bronze. Call it good.
Well, it's good. We want to help the environment at the same time. Yeah. We want to help our pocketbook.
So platinum runs at about 92% efficiency, or at least 92, I should say. At least 92% efficiency when it's running at maximum efficiency. If you guys want a website where you can try to find review data on this, there's a great site called Johnny Guru, and they have power supplies sent to them, and they'll rate them. This guy right here, it was either the 850 or the 1,000 watt power supply for the Quark series from Rosewell, and it got a very good review, and so that convinced me, that plus the sale on this guy, so it was at half price.
Yeah, both those things I would have gotten them too.
It convinced me that it was worth the risk of buying a Rosewell. Not saying Rosewell is bad, I just don't have much experience with them.
And there's not much online experience either.
Yeah. But full cable management modular, I'll get about that when later on. Crossfire and SLI support, that just means it has enough cables to support 2 graphics cards. Nothing too fancy. Right here, 80 plus platinum, certified to deliver over 92% efficiency. It's designed for ATX compatible, although you might be able to fit it with an ITX case as well. More data about the output and all the different bits. List of connections for that. So that's motherboard, that's CPU, that's mostly for graphics cards. These are for things like CDs and regular hard drives and SSDs that aren't like the SSD I have. They're the SSDs that are 2.5 inch form factors. You've got Molex connectors for stuff like LEDs, or I don't know if you would if you guys would even have it, but like a floppy disk or a tape drive might run off a Molex.
I have a floppy disk.
Oh wait, no, floppy connector. Sorry,
yeah,
that's a floppy connector.
I don't have a floppy disk. I have to get a special converter to connect it to my laptop to use it,
or
just use that. Yeah.
Exactly. And right here, it's got package contents, so it's got all the stuff right there. Nothing too crazy. So if we open up the case,
dun dun dun.
User manual and a warning. This product contains chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer, birth defects, or the reproductive harm.
So I probably shouldn't eat it.
You shouldn't eat it or rub it all over your reproductive parts, or be in California.
Yeah, don't do it in California. If you are going to do it, especially don't do it in California.
But just more information on the CPU, the PSU itself, data on everything from the 1200 model to the 550 watt model. Nothing too crazy. Safety and warnings. Basically, don't screw around with it. It's got capacitors. It might kill you. Seriously, don't open up the inside of a power supply as soon as you're doing. You can't kill yourself.
I have no desire to open the inside of a power supply.
It's like those old CRT monitors and TVs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they would have high value capacitors on the inside that we could instantly start up, and you wouldn't have to wait for the cathode ray tube to warm up. And so it would always consume tons of energy, and also could kill you if you poke the wrong thing on the inside.
Woo! Let's poke it.
Yeah. So this is the wall connector. This will plug into the PSU. You've probably seen this anything from your DVD player at home to
computers from the dawn of time
or something.
Well, not quite the dawn of time, but for a long time. Not my lifetime, but most of my memory.
Yeah, and this is just a regular wall socket designed for American 120 volts. If you're watching this in some other country like Aussie land or
What about Scotland?
Scotland, yes, the United Kingdom.
I know I have at least one Scottish follower.
Yeah, the UK has a different plug. You've seen it. You've worked
Shout out
with
to Gaz, maybe Cassie.
But that all works just fine. So these screws are designed so you can screw in the back of the power supply into the case and it won't accidentally jiggle and move out, which is bad. Zip ties because you want to hold cables in a little bit better. Then here we have all the different cables and their connectors. So you can see the Molex. The Molex is in there. Here we've got a little bit of a... This might be CPU, I believe, maybe. That's for a graphics card. Or maybe this is the CPU. I'm not too sure. But this right here is a 20+4. Occasionally you'll find computers only run 20 pins, but most of them just run off of 24. You've got serial connections in there, serial ATA or SATA. They're in there. You can kind of see it maybe. You can see that. There you go. SATA port. So nothing too fancy. This is all the cabling that comes with it.
If you need anything more, you can hunt online, but I don't really think anything that you would need.
You do have to be careful. As a idiot called Salazar Studio, which I don't really agree with the man on a lot of things, he accidentally killed his computer because he put the wrong Molex connector in it. Yeah.
That sounds fun.
He has some very informative videos, but at the same time, it's
hit and miss.
Hit and miss sometimes. He usually does good, but there's enough miss that I stopped watching his videos about 9 months back or so.
Gas.
I'm just pretentious like that.
Alright, but I'm using cardboard backdrops, so...
It's cost effective.
It's very cost effective.
But there's the fan in here. If you get higher and higher ratings, it can go off higher and higher wattage without having the fan to spin up, so it keeps it a little more silent. On, off. Wall plug. I'm pretty sure that would be universal world round. Although you can tell this is designed for America and not European standards because there is no 120 to 240 volt switch in there. Yeah, it goes in there. In the front,
just in case.
This actually does describe a lot. On the front, they've got LEDs, which show which one of the power rails, which one of these guys is the problem. So because I got a better power supply, you can troubleshoot things a little bit.
That's nice.
Yeah. So this is evidently floppy drives and SATAs, I guess. PC. Okay, so the blue was for graphics cards. So you can have 4 8-pin connectors, and an 8-pin connector, if I remember correctly, can support up to 125 or 150 watts over the cable itself.
You can have a lot of fun graphic cards.
Well, yes and no.
No.
Because this can support, about 600 watts of graphics card, but this is a 650 watt power supply. So if I was running balls to the walls, people say, full tilt, whatever you want to call it, if I were to run that, I'd reduce the longevity of this.
Yeah, you would burn through it pretty quick.
Yeah, but there's the 20 plus 4 pin connector, or in this case just a 24 pin connector for the motherboard, and then CPU. Maybe an X99 or a Z270 board would require dual 8 pins, but I will not. And here you can see right there, right there maybe, or right there, and right there, definitively. Those are the mounting points for these screws to hold them inside of the case. So that's that. When you do buy a case, a lot of them, when they're cheaper, will have all the cables in them, and they'll come out as a little sprout on either the left or right hand side, and it'll include all these cables, but you can't choose what you want to put in there or take out. That's called just a power supply. There's a semi-modular power supply, which will have things mandatory, like it'll have the 24 pin connector and the CPU power will be built in. You can't take them out because everyone who runs a power supply will have the 20 or maybe a 24 pin, and everyone has a CPU connector. But these guys, the PCIe and the SATAs and all that, will be non-mandatory. You can choose which ones you want. For this case, because it's such a good deal, half off, this is a fully modular, so I can choose which cables I want and how you want it all. But I think that covers basically the entirety of how a power supply operates. Well, of course, we're going to show a video of how to install it. But that's all that really comes to my mind as to what you need to know in order to understand power supply a little better.
All right.
So
thank you so much, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See ya.